I'm Jennifer Freitas. I run a YouTube channel called This Home Sparrow. It's all about YouTube strategy, my experiences on YouTube, and how to make better videos. I've honestly just been obsessed with YouTube for the past 12 years, watching a million videos and helping my husband grow a channel. I've just decided it's time to help others learn how to do it as well.
I discovered Jennifer just by finding one of her YouTube videos and thinking it was really great. And she had a lot of good things to say in there. What are some tips for people on how they can grow a YouTube channel?
Being super clear with your message. If people click on your channel and they don't have a clue what your video is about or what your channel is about, then they're not going to stick around. And even getting into the nitty gritty of titles and thumbnails in your video, if people can't understand, they're just going to leave. So before you even start anything, you have to know what you're talking about and who you're serving exactly. Because if people feel like you don't get them, or you're missing the mark, or you're going off on too broad of a tangent or topics, it's not going to work. You have to be very focused. So one of the new things right now is people are saying, be the niche, like you be the niche. And I have to disagree with that because the market is so saturated right now, especially since the pandemic. YouTube has just gained so many new creators. And if you don't stand out in some way, you're just going to get lost in the mix. You either have to bring a really unique personality or a unique angle to a common topic. Like say you're doing cars or something, like you got to bring something new to the table here. We've been doing this a long time. People expect to be informed or entertained in a major way if they're going to stick around. They recently just came out with a podcast shelf. You can put out regular videos, and just the interface itself on YouTube is just way more streamlined. You've got a podcast shelf, a live shelf, a short shelf, and your regular videos. And so that really gives you an opportunity to try new things. I'm already like, ooh, maybe I should start a podcast about YouTube strategy or the business side of YouTube, or what it's been like running a small business from YouTube. I just think that if YouTube comes out with a new feature, you want to use it. That's why they do it, so that people will utilize these things. And whenever you use anything new from YouTube, they like it and they will push that out. Like the shorts, even though it's 2 years old now, if you use shorts, YouTube is still really pushing that because it's still fairly young on the platform.
I want to go back to the niche topic because you have two accounts, your husband's and yours. Could you give us an example of how you've really niched down and gotten very specific, starting with your husband's account and then your account, and then how maybe that's helped the accounts grow?
My husband is an English teacher by trade, and he's just good at what he does, so much so that over the years, his admin has been like, we want you to do AP, which is advanced placement. From that, he's just been known as the AP guy. I was like, Tim, you need to create this into a business. You've got something here. So he concentrates specifically on the AP English exam, which would be Lit and Lang. That is a super, super niche area. A lot of people don't even know what that is. And most people are not going to go to the Garden of English to be entertained. They're going to learn how to teach English, or they're going to learn how to take the exam. He has other content on there, which is just like basic English stuff for the classroom, but that would be his niche. His niche is English. But within that, his content pillars are the exam, how to teach, and how to take the tests. I wanted to go on YouTube for a really long time. Super scared. What I started out talking about was self-care. And I grew up without a mom or like sisters or anybody. So like I taught myself a lot of stuff. And so I was like, oh, maybe my mission here is to like teach other women about how to take care of themselves if they haven't had anyone to teach them. And it just wasn't vibing with me. I felt like I was kind of just forcing myself to do it. I wasn't having fun. So I made this video about burnout, and it didn't go viral, but it got like 18,000 views in just a few weeks. People really related to everything I was saying. And I was like, wow, I just felt so free just talking about this. And I really do love YouTube, but I don't have like any specific training, and everything I know I taught myself. So I didn't feel like qualified to talk about it. But then I realized as people were commenting and asking me questions, I was like, whoa, maybe I actually do know more than I thought. So I just kept going with it. I posted my first video January 8th, and I almost have 1,000 subscribers. So I was like, wow, I guess this is it. But my content pillars under YouTube are the strategy, my experiences, and how to make better videos.
Why do you think that video did so well?
There was a little bit of strategy. So being a new creator on the platform, YouTube was serving me other new creators who had maybe 50 subscribers or whatever. What I noticed was anytime that creator had a video about YouTube that wasn't part of their niche, it just stuck out. Like that video had the most views out of their whole channel, however many videos they had. And I was like, let's try that out. And it totally worked. Not that I was expecting it to. I was getting like, I'm not kidding, like 30 views a video. And so when it just kind of picked up, it was like 100, 200. I was like, all right, something's happening here. And then the comments just came rolling in about, oh my gosh, I feel the same way, stuff like that. And that's what kind of opened my eyes to people want to be heard and understood. So now I'm kind of trying to show people that it's okay to be more authentic on camera and not be afraid. The big thing right now that is being pushed on YouTube by a lot of the gurus is building a community. I think that if you can understand what people are going through in whatever niche you have, that's going to build a community because they feel like there's a connection.
What was the thing for you that was like, I got to do it now? And you started posting videos and you made the commitment. Was there a shift in your mind or something that happened?
Yeah, it's kind of sad, actually. There was a YouTube creator that I just loved. She did sewing tutorials, and from that, I learned how to sew. I mean, it helped during the pandemic and everything like that. And I actually recently heard of her passing. And I was like, time is so short, and I'm already older than a lot of the creators out there. I still feel very young, but the other thing is she was like my age. So I felt very connected to when that happened. And I just was like, I can't wait another day. I forced myself to create an account. I mean, I was like, whatever the name is, it's going to stick. I'm going to make it work no matter what comes of it. And I just was like, I'm going to record some videos, and on this day, I'm going to post them, and that's it. Whatever happens, happens. After I posted that video about burnout, I never expected at all to grow that fast.
Can you walk me through kind of your entire process of how you create a YouTube video?
Yeah. So first of all, my background is in video production. Reason being is originally I wanted to be an actress, and I did all that, went through the talent agency, stuff like that. And I was like, this is just not for me. So I decided to go to school for video production and try the other side of things. And through that, I learned editing. I learned basically how to produce videos. But then right out of college, I got married, had kids, didn't use my degree for that whole time. And I was like, do I still even have it in me when my husband started the channel? But I was editing for him a lot. I kind of just gained more knowledge from that. For my videos, I will think of an idea. I have all these papers over here is my brain. And I write all of the video ideas down, and I will try to think of what is the main idea of the video and what is the feeling of the video. And then I will brainstorm titles first and a thumbnail. I will do that before I record the video because those two things, I always do those last after I make my husband's videos, and it just weighs me down. So I like to do them ahead of time. So I'll record the video and I just put it in the editing suite and I'll cut it up first. I'll take all of the dead space out, whatever mess ups I make. I will add in sound effects and text, just whatever I feel like will help the viewer to understand the video better. And I also use, stock footage to kind of show, don't tell, because if I'm just talking like this the entire time, people will get bored. So I'll do that. I am kind of strategic with my descriptions when I post things on my YouTube channel. I know that people are like, oh, keywords, they're not as important anymore, tags, whatever. But if they're there, if YouTube has the feature, it means they want you to use it. You know what I mean? So I don't ignore anything. I optimize as much as I possibly can. Then I wait and see what happens. And then from there, I'll look at the analytics and evaluate.
What are the softwares or the tools that you're using? What's the tool that you use to edit? And then do you use any additional tools for YouTube or keywords or anything like that?
So as far as keywords and stuff, I am like very cautious to buy products to help me. And it's not that I'm against it. It's just like I grew up poor, so like I'm really, really careful about what I spend my money on. And I also like to teach myself. So I do have the free extensions of TubeBuddy and vidIQ, and I do think that they have helped to a degree. But I think understanding like the mind of your viewer is more important than anything. As far as like editing stuff I use, couldn't have done it without my husband because he is so technically savvy, and literally I wouldn't be on YouTube at all if it weren't for him. But he taught me how to use OBS, which basically records whatever's on your screen, and it's really helpful sometimes to use like movie clips or TV shows to get my point across or add something kind of funny in there. What else do I use? My editing software is Premiere Elements. I know that the industry standard is like Final Cut Pro, which I used in college, but we had to use a green screen element for my husband's videos, and just this program was the best one for green screen.
I know you're not monetized on your channel yet, but what's your husband's monetization look like? Has he been able to monetize in other ways outside of ad spend?
So basically, I think of YouTube as a big lead magnet. He got monetized in a very short amount of time because of the niche. There was a very, very trending time in his field, and that would be the test time, which comes in May. And so because he put 2 videos out at that time, each of them got 10,000 views in a night, and it just gave him the 1,000 subscribers like right away. So we get AdSense. He wrote a book. You can buy his book on Amazon. So he has the affiliate link for that, but he has affiliate links for other education companies that like you can get like a test prep thing. He also was discovered on YouTube, and he was asked to create a product called the Ultimate Review Packet. Basically, it's all of the best teachers on YouTube just created this video series to prepare you for the exam. And that has been one revenue stream. Honestly, from starting YouTube, he now has like 13 revenue streams. I mean, he's got merch. What else? He got paid for writing the book, which is an AP English language book. He also advertises a lot of his products that he's made. He has a website, and he also offers tutoring. He's got other tutors that work under him. And so he's tutoring kids from all over the world. Let me see. He also runs this session in the summer, and people will find him on YouTube. It's specifically for teachers, and so they'll pay him like a seat price. And that's kind of like what makes him the most money. But YouTube is great for monetizing. He is still working a full-time teaching job, and we talk about him going part-time or leaving the classroom at some point. I mean, from YouTube and the monetization itself, could he leave the classroom? Yes. But I will say what he's making in the classroom is only half of what he makes on YouTube from all of that. So basically, he's tripled his income. Wow. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Monetization in the future for me, I'm already brainstorming a ton. Do I know how the channel's going to do? No, I have no idea. I'm hoping that it will go well because I am doing best practices and trying to appeal to my audience. So I am working on merch, which I don't think is the most like high in terms of revenue, but it's something that I think is good for building community. I do plan on offering services for channel audit. I am working on a product right now to do self audits so that it's something more affordable that people can kind of just go through themselves if they don't want to spend whatever it is for a half hour to an hour with me reviewing their channel. Like I said, I've got a million ideas over here. I've even got a book on my list.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to write a book for a really, really long time. But yeah, I also just started with like Amazon affiliate. I honestly want to give myself a little bit more time, to create more videos and have like a bigger database for people. Because if I don't have people coming to the channel, no one's going to buy anything. Anyway, if you want to find me, I am mostly on YouTube, and I am very active in the community tab. I like to connect with my audience a lot through questions, just telling them what's going on. I even update them on my husband's channel because it's a great example as to something that's more advanced than where I am currently, and to prove that what I'm saying does work. You can find me on Instagram and YouTube at This Home Sparrow, or just type in my name, Jennifer Freitas. And that's where I'm most active right now, mainly because I told myself I want to grow on YouTube. I'm not going to spread myself too thin. So that's where I hang out right now. I mean, will I, branch out to Facebook and TikTok more? Maybe, but my concentration is on YouTube because that's my goal.
We'll put your YouTube channel below this video. Definitely go follow her. She's got some really great videos on YouTube growth. And I appreciate you being on the podcast today, Jennifer. There's so many more questions I want to ask you, but I guess we'll have to save it for episode 2 with you. So thanks so much for doing this. We'll have to have you back on.